Hi folks, I want to do sort of another meadow, but I want to turn my trees up a bit further instead of just putting it on the horizon. I like painting these scenes, I get a lot of pleasure out of them. And okay, I don't do houses and things like that. I used to do those, and I did a year doing nothing but Venice for a gallery, which was good for me and good for him. Did 80, commissioned to do 80 paintings, and he paid me, whether good or bad, for every one. It was a good experience, but I got fed up with painting doing all the filigree, the windows and the balconies, and the gondolas and gondoliers and their passengers. So I could do it, but I choose to give myself an easy life, and I like the effects of these lovely, well, the scenes anyway, not the actual painting. Right, now I've got my cat here. I don't want to roll of my chair over his tail. He's a lovely boy. Right, okay, bit of liquid, bit of a mixture of alkyd resin and not alkyd resin, Griffin. We'll have a bit of blue. I'm painting on. Oh, look at that! It's horrible. On a piece of canvas, sheets of canvas. I think we need more dry on there. Otherwise, it won't go anywhere. So I think this is an alkyd resin. It's artisan Winsor & Newton fast drying medium. Good stuff. Doesn't smell. But it's going to take quite a while to fill this. Well, maybe I'll give up on that brush. It's too long. Right, get the old liquid going. Bit blue, just plain blue. Oh, it's dipped into a bit of ochre, haven't I? Somebody said I could sell my palette as a painting in itself, but that bit obviously hasn't dried, so let's just give it a bit of a scrape. There, that was the ending bit. Paper. Wipe that off. Right there, Harry. He's Ginger Tom. Got a white belly, white paws. Well, no, he hasn't got white. No, he's ginger there. White paws and white apron. Lovely, very friendly. We had 15 in yesterday for a lunch. Ladies' lunch. I was making the tea, but. When one got up, Harry would jump on their chair. He was right in the middle of them. He loved it, didn't you? Always trying to get on the lap. Right, okay, let's start again. Quite, you hear the roughness of this canvas. It's primed. From a book. It's just somebody gave me a load of art stuff that they didn't want to use anymore. They gave up in favour of another interest, like writing. God, yeah. I was looking at a tin of white ceiling and wall emulsion that hasn't been used. And I was thinking I should have given this a bit of a prime with that, a bit of a coat just to fill the gaps. Beautiful day in London at the moment. It's going to 14 degrees, which is quite remarkable for a February. We've had our really cold spell, I think. But you never know. It could change. It could change overnight. So I'm sort of painting this a gentle sort of sky here. Right, I'm going to put in a bit of oh, sorry, that. I've got some lovely colours. Red ochre. I used it. I bought it for doing the two colour tone studies a while back, but I haven't done. Well, I did a demonstration for a group in November. And that was a lot of fun, and it went well. The two tone study, but I was going to then, after a cup of tea, turn it into a totally different scene by using two or three more colours. But I forgot to pack my titanium white, and I didn't want to go home for it. Well, it wouldn't have been very long, so we made the best of it. Okay, well that's more or less. Could use a bit of that ochre now. So the sky just very, very that's quite nice. We could clean the brush, bit of ultramarine. Now we've got something to work on. Let's do a bit of blending here. Just working all over, wearing my brush out. Okay, let's let that go and fill in the gaps. I don't think I've got a mount that'll fit this, but so I'm just using it up. I've got some canvases. My friend gave me several canvases for it, all primed canvases, and loads of oil paints, acrylics. A block of 50 sheets of Winsor & Newton studio paper. Right, now then, let's get a good tree in here. I'm using light red here, bit of blue. Oops, that's a bit more blue in there. Just waggle the brush around. So I'm going to try, with this, I'm going to try to get some air in this. Like that, but I don't want too even a shape. Because I let the birds fly through these things. Right, let's get that colour there. Bit of warm shadow. Let that coming right down here. Red, yellow and blue, just the primaries. Oh, it's the wind's building up now. You're still there, Harry. Oh, there's a bit of yellow ochre in there. If I put a bit of white in there, or light, in there, it should give an impression of the light coming through, but I need that tree to be much more green. let's see, what we do that sort of meadowy thing there. Right, I'll use this old brush here just to put in a bit of that blue light. Just try shining through here. I'll go over that. Well, I might not. It's got a bit of orange. Oh, that's nice. That's the cadmium. This is a Griffin alkyd resin-based paint, Winsor & Newton. Lovely stuff. Fast dryer with the Griffin. I will put some filigree in there somewhere. I say filigree, go away. Stopping to answer the phone. Now we need some trees going across there, but on the blue side. Just over the horizon. Remember the colour. As you know, I work from a limited palette. Let's get a balance over here. Bit of Payne's grey mix with that green. Oh, that's the basis of our painting. Got a lot more to do on that tree, and all this. It's just taking a bit of time to fill the holes in, or the grain of the canvas. My friend John, the Smoothie 77, if you want to know about how to draw and watercolour over it, he's superb. We're good friends, and he's recommended one of his Patreons or viewers to have a chat online with me about solvents. I don't use solvents. I used to, but they can be pretty deadly. And I used to use kerosene, paraffin in a jar as a cleaner as I went, and I would swash my brush around in the paraffin, and then I would dry it on the rag. Okay, let's go there. Dry it on the rag, then carry on, then dip it in the clean it up a bit. So I didn't use loads of brushes. I only used a few brushes at any one time, and I cleaned them now in the towel. But the paraffin, the kerosene, was a real. I don't know what damage I've done to my chest, but for years of breathing it in, especially when I was doing the Venice paintings. So I tried Zest It, which was awful stuff. It was supposed to be low odour, and there's anything but. So I threw that. And what else did I use? White spirit. I still use a little bit of white spirit if I want to do some filigree on a sort of a drying patch. But I'm only using a tiny bit. But oils, I only really use linseed oil, and I mix it in with a bit of liquid and fast drying medium from Winsor & Newton. What have I got here? I've got a clue of something here. Sand soda without odour, low odour. Winsor & Newton, I never even smelt it. Let's have a sniff. Oh, there's low odour. Oh. Well, you can use that as a thinner. But I wait to the end of my painting session, and then I clean my brushes with dishwasher not dishwasher, washing up liquid, fairy liquid, but good quality. You don't want like Asda's own brand because it won't have the strength. But the good brands like Fairy Liquid, I just squirt a bit on the brush from the big plastic bottle and rub it in my hand, and the oil just falls out. If you get it on your clothes, the paint on your clothes, provided it doesn't really dry, but if it's it's a bit damp, you can clean it with a bit of Fairy Liquid on a sponge and just clean your clothes or your jeans where you've spilt it or been careless, and it all comes out. It's marvellous. So no solvents, or well, I say no, but not any solvents that would harm me because I'm breathing it in from an oily paraffin-soaked rag. So I would recommend that. That's about it, really. So it's much easier to keep. I use as many brushes as you like, but don't dip them in any solvent until you've finished, and then you just clean them with the soap. With the somebody mentioned walnut oil. Well, that sounds a bit expensive to me. I've not used it. I've used. I've got some. I forget it's here, but it's very good. Supermarket. Oh yeah, walnut oil. Yes, walnut oil. There we are. I do use walnut oil from time to time, and that was probably about £2.50 in the supermarket in Asda. I'm not pushing Asda, but they seem to have these things, and I use that instead of linseed oil, and you can cook with it. But I wouldn't recommend it. Well, not you can cook with it. Let's get this dark in here, a dark green. That's Payne's grey and the yellow, the cadmium yellow. A little bit of red with it, just darkness. So we need that shadow under the clumps of leaves. A bit of shadow there. And a bit more of that up here. Green in shadow. I'm thinking very much of Chichester salt marsh, but it's sort of not. But the view that I remember, the tree, there was trees behind that big tree, going that way, not going across. But then there was like a peninsula, and that had trees on. But I'm just going to carry on doing the trees as I'm doing them. There we are. We've got a nice bit of yellow in there. Just dot it around a bit so it all sort of blends. It's all about light and dark, painting light against dark all the time. If you want something to look light, put it next to something that's dark, and vice versa. If the tones are too close together, then you can't separate and do your aerial perspective. An aerial perspective is just using cooler colours to suggest distance. What I'm trying to do here. But we'll put a little bit of the green in. Bit of blue in there. Come down there. Further down. Might put some water in. I might not. But I'm just making this up as I'm going along. Or you can change it at any time. Not so easy with this canvas though. You have to work at that. Right, let's put a bit of distance. I'll have a bit of red, bit of white in there. don't really like painting on canvas. That's why I paint on the paper, watercolour paper, primed, or MDF. MDF, I've got a load of MDF over there. Got half a dozen sheets, 4 foot by 3 foot sheets, or yeah, something like that. Right, let's try and get some colour. Oh, you mix those two reds together, why not? I'm using the red on the palette for burnt sienna. Don't go too high. Right, let's get that. Let's get my mixed green. This one's nearer. This is just lovely, just doing this in here. My wife's gone out. Okay, this is supposed to be, it's turning into a meadow, isn't it? Right, let's get that darker green under there. To counter change with that there. Right, let's do a bit of grass. I'll use one of my worn out brushes, bit of liquid, bit of white, just. Oh, let's have a bit of that red. Why not? Bit of white. Push up the grasses. This is what I like. You can spend hours doing blades of grass with a fine brush, but look, I've got a fine brush here. Put a bit of green in there. I've got that shadow back. So now we can counter change them. Just a few high grasses. Get the fresh ochre. Right, this is all going to be meadow. I probably won't put any water in. But we want all sorts of colours in this. Let's get some paint on. All that brushes, the pins coming out of it. They're very cheap brushes. I bought a packet of them from Hobbycraft several years ago. 15 for about £8, all various sizes. But they're no quality to them. But then they do magical things, so that they are quality brushes. Because you've made them into a quality brush by using this stipple. Get a bit of red. Bit of red grass. A bit of light in there. The gaps, won't it? I'm hoping this will go into 2 videos. Well, not 2 videos. Because I'm using a new camera, I'm using also the new Windows Movie Maker editor. But it's not the video makes a or splits at about 30 minutes. It's a bit of a nuisance, but it's what it is. There we go. They're coming on there. And the last 2 videos have gone where I've stopped and gone. Well, I've stopped to. Well, I didn't stop. Went over the 30 minutes, and in both of them, they were 5 minutes over, but the editor didn't edit them in. That's why I did it in 2 parts. I just went back and just downloaded it straight to YouTube. the two parts, but part one, part two. Not for any other reason. It's a bit of a nuisance. Right, get some shadow in there. Bit of shadow in there. Now we're going to go for the brights. Bright, we've got some bright green, don't we? So there's the green. Let's just bung it on and then we can refine it. Let's get it in, get all those colours in. Oh, I love a bit of red. But with plenty of green, then you can put in some poppies. They always go down well. Have a poppy brush. Okay, let's get some nice light green now. Sorry about silence. Yeah, the camera's performing well. I hadn't adjusted any of the settings. It's factory set and it seems to be churning out nice videos, and I'm recording on 720 megapixels and it seems to be fine. There's a bit of yellow ochre with this, just to show some high bits and pieces, like I suppose it's called cauliflower. It's got a name, I can't remember at the moment. Cow parsley. That's what I wanted to remember. Put a little bit of this in. This would be for the grasses, the long grass. Let's have a bit of red. Why not? Mix the two reds. Well, let's get that in here. Just dot that about. The alkyd resin paint, the Griffin, is drying now on my little palette. Plus that dry that I've just added, a bit of ochre, don't really white. Let me get some bit of light in here. No, not yet. Right, I want to put some stronger stuff in here with that Payne's grey and that yellow. It's harder to work this paint, this canvas. You always get a lot of, on grass, you get a lot of yellow ochre. I'll do that in a second. Let's put it back. They're all lost and found. Okay, now we've got something to counter-change against. We'll put some light. I'm going to change that yellow. It's the cadmium yellow. I'm going to use some chrome yellow. I didn't buy it, but I've got it, so I'm using it, if I remember. Chrome yellow, there it is. Turner's favourite yellow, I believe. Oh, what a painter. Way ahead of his time. This is the artist, Winsor & Newton, artist quality. So I don't know how much that would have been. Well, I wouldn't buy it. I'd stick to the student qualities. Right, now, let's just... So that Payne's grey is getting in there. That's good. Oh, I've got some white in there. Oh, see that? It's all mid. I'll put some flowers in, but they won't be botanical specimens. They'll be just dots. Silence. A bit of that yellow ochre. All helps. Right, I still need that light of the sun because it's a very bright day on here. I do tend to paint what's outside my window. Windows. I've got in my studio. I've got 3 large windows let into the roof itself, into the tiles. It's a loft conversion, which has been really good. Only for about 35 years. A nephew-in-law did it for us. More of that yellow in here. Bit of white, bit of Payne's grey. Right, I think we've done enough to that meadow. We'll texture it with some light red. Poppies. Got to finish these trees in the background. Those blobs have got a bit big. Yeah. Ooh, oh no, that's not good, is it? It's okay, I can cope with that. Let's go back in with that. Give an impression of poppies on the distance. Right, what we want now is white. for a bit of cow parsley. Saw a lot of it on our bike ride on Monday. But no, we didn't. No, it's growing. It's all barren now. Cow parsley, all the stems are there, ready to become cow parsley. But I'm no botanist. And Leo. Sorry, we're not in, I'm not answering the phone. By the time I run downstairs with the phone, it will have hung up probably. No, we're not here. Now, blue, with a bit of white. Because you get the old, can't remember what they're called now, cornflowers. I'm just having fun with the paints. I'm struggling with the canvas. Oh, look at that. Dead easy. Why use one when you can do 100? Right, you see this lovely brush, it's worn out, but then it isn't. It's doing all this. Let's get some more down there in the foreground here. Right, we won't overdo it, but I think we have. Right, so we can put probably a bit going up here. Showing the light here. Right, I'm going to do this tree here now. So we'll go back to this brush, this lovely brush. This is a Winsor & Newton Winton brush. Lovely, lovely, lovely brush. I bought that from Hobbycraft, I think. So the range had all the lovely paints, but they closed the store. Well, they didn't close the store. They let a large corner of it out to Iceland, the freezer place. Well, obviously, the freezer place is more important than the art section. And I've been banned on YouTube, so I can't buy off there until we open up another account. I was speaking to a friend yesterday, one of the visitors, well, guests, invited guests. She's been banned as well, but they never tell you why. Right, let's get a bit of light under here. Okay. I'm not sure I like the shape of that. It's too even. Let's just put a bit of that in. Change the shape of that bit. Right, okay. Get some more yellow. This yellow is just scintillating. Right. Not sure whether to do the branches with something like this. Might be better with a brush. Well, but I don't know. I'll use some Payne's Grey as well. A minute. Now, see that opens the whole tree up. It's an illusion, but it works. That's there. That's a bit of an impressionist painting. So I might use a brush, yeah. Right, let's get some bit of ochre. I'll do some here. Like that. Like that. Payne's Grey. Bit of green. Not really registering. It used to be flat. Right, I'll get a rigger. Where's my rigger? I've washed it up. It might be on my little table behind me. No. Ooh. I've got a rigger. I want the one that I was wearing out. Oh, there it is. I've had this one for several years, this little rigger. I think the oil is going to be a bit too pull my sleeve up. Don't get that in the dirt. I'm tempted to put some figures in. Let's just thicken that up a bit. Just, especially if it's green. It opens the whole thing up. Right, let's have some figures in white figures. Just walking around a meadow. Oops, don't like that. Got a big backside. Sorry for my head's in the way. Well, we'll have a red, shall we? Let's change that to red. Catch it a bit of light. We'll put some jeans. What are you doing in my meadow? Well, that'll do. Just a little bit of interest, and we can probably have one over the other side, just to balance. He's a bit faster across there than those. Let's get a bit of a hat. I want yellow colour for that. Oh no, that's gone too big. It's gone too big. The Chichester area of is it Hampshire or is it West Sussex, is beautiful. I'm still working from it. I'm doing this as a memory of it. Now I want to try to get some in there. So that's a bit of that. It's hard. The paint, the canvas is not is gripping the brush. It's not going smoothly. Okay, well, apart from putting these this filigree in, there's not a lot of well, there's not a lot of what's the saying? The opposite of detail. It's the illusion of detail. Let's just get a bit of a shadow on there. Not sure I like that. Green. Now I'm sure we've gone well over the time now. Let's get a bit of light. Right, that's not really working, is there? So let's just put a bit of dark around here. That looks like my a figure, doesn't it? So let's just see if we can take it out. Right, I can't do the squiggly bits in. I'll have to dismantle all this and wait for it to dry. Well, I'm sure Vincent didn't bother about waiting for it to dry, did he? Of the light. Okay, well, I'll see if I can find them out for it, and we'll have a look. Those clips are superb. They murder my wrist trying to hold them out one-handed and hold the palette, but they're really tough. Oh, you could develop your wrist muscles really for these things, but very, very useful. And they really grip that palette on here, and I do it so that you can see me do the mixing. Right, let's see what we've got in the way of amounts. What's that one? It's a bit too small, isn't it? Nice one though. Nice mount. Another couple here. Try and blue. Try them all. Because a mount gives you the idea of what it would look like if it was in a frame. But these are too small. But well, I don't know, that looks nice, doesn't it? What do you reckon? Don't worry about too much of about the horizon in this one. Just a memory of a lovely woodland walk. So let's just come out of that there. So I hope you like that one, folks. Thanks for watching. I'll get this uploaded now. Bye for now.